Have you ever felt the weight of a story stir something deep within you? A memory, a laugh, or even a tear? In a small theater on an unforgettable night, tales of love, loss, and laughter wove a tapestry of emotions that brought strangers together. What if the power of a story could change the way you see the world? In the heart of a bustling town stood a quaint and charming drama theater, its doors open wide, welcoming a diverse crowd that eagerly shuffled in for an evening of storytelling. The air buzzed with excitement, the velvet seats and gilded curtains exuding an aura of anticipation. Tonight was not just any night, it was a night dedicated to the magic of stories, where feelings and emotions danced as the stars of the show. The event promised laughter, tears, joy, and reflection, all encapsulated within the walls of this theater. As the lights dimmed, a hush fell over the audience. The first story was about to unfold. The storyteller, a wiry man with a twinkle in his eye, stepped onto the stage. He began with a tale about a bumbling man named Oliver, who was notorious for his bad luck. Oliver's life was a series of comedic disasters, from getting his tie stuck in the toaster while preparing breakfast to accidentally releasing a flock of chickens into the mayor's office. Each mishap was described with exaggerated detail, and soon the audience was in stitches. Laughter echoed off the theater's high ceilings as Oliver, in the story, attempted to chase the chickens down the city street while wearing a bathrobe and slippers. The imagery was too much to bear. People clutched their sides, wiping tears of joy from their faces. The story reminded everyone of those moments in life when nothing goes right, but all you can do is laugh. In the back row, an elderly couple exchanged glances, their shoulders shaking with laughter. The woman leaned over to her husband and whispered, "Sounds like the time you got locked out of the house in your pajamas." The man chuckled, nodding, as the memory resurfaced. They held hands, the warmth of shared humor lingering between them. The stage lights softened, casting a warm, dim glow as the next storyteller took the stage. Her voice was soft, almost a whisper, as she began telling a story of a little girl named Emily and her beloved dog, Rusty. They had been inseparable since the day Rusty, a scrappy mutt, followed Emily home from school. Together, they shared countless adventures, running through fields, playing by the river, and curling up on cold nights. But Rusty was growing old. His once spry legs were now stiff with age, and his playful bark had faded to a tired wheeze. One evening, after a quiet walk through the woods, Rusty lay down by Emily's side and never got up again. The audience grew quiet. Eyes glistened with unshed tears as the storyteller's voice wavered, recounting Emily's heartache, her quiet grief as she buried her best friend under the oak tree in her yard. The sadness was palpable. A young woman in the front row sniffed, dabbing at her eyes with a tissue, while a father a few rows back pulled his young son close, ruffling his hair as if to say, "I'm here. I won't leave you." This story reminded everyone of loss, the kind of loss that sneaks up on you, grips your heart, and leaves an imprint that never fully fades. With a quick change of pace, the next storyteller emerged with an energetic flair. His voice was lively, his movements exaggerated, as he told the story of a young boy named Sam, who was determined to teach himself how to ride a unicycle. Sam's initial attempts were disastrous. He wobbled, he fell, he crashed into bushes, and even once into a lamppost. But Sam was nothing if not determined. His persistence was relentless. After weeks of practice, bruises, and frustration, he finally managed to stay upright for more than 5 seconds. and soon 5 seconds became 5 minutes. Sam's story was not just about learning to ride a unicycle. It was about resilience, grit, and the satisfaction of pushing through when things got tough. The audience felt inspired. Parents nudged their children, silently reminding them of the importance of perseverance. A group of teenagers sitting together exchanged knowing looks, recognizing the familiar frustration of mastering a new skill, whether it was learning an instrument, passing a test, or scoring a goal in a sport. The morale was clear. No matter how difficult the journey, persistence pays off. And as the storyteller took his bow, the audience clapped, their spirits lifted, their minds swirling with the possibilities of what they could achieve if they just kept trying. The theater grew still as the next storyteller, an older man with deep-set eyes and a calming presence, began a serious tale about war. His story was not about battles or victories, but about a soldier named John, who returned home to find that he no longer knew who he was. The war had changed him, left him with scars, some visible, some not. John's journey was one of self-discovery. He had to relearn how to live, how to connect with people, and how to heal from the invisible wounds left by trauma. His interactions with his family were strained, his nights were sleepless, and every loud noise made him flinch. The only thing that seemed to bring him peace was the act of carving wooden animals, a simple, repetitive task that allowed him to focus on the present moment. The story was poignant, a sobering reminder of the emotional toll that life's harshest experiences can take. The audience listened intently, some nodding in quiet recognition. A few veterans in the crowd straightened in their seats, understanding all too well the weight of what was being shared. John's journey was not one of dramatic triumph, but of small victories, finding peace in the little things, slowly rebuilding relationships, and learning to live with the person he had become. The story left the audience with a sense of quiet introspection, a reminder that healing is not always grand, but it is always worth the effort. The final storyteller of the night was a bubbly woman with an infectious smile. She launched into a story about a small town that decided to throw a surprise festival to celebrate the retirement of their beloved postman, Mr. Wilkins, who had delivered their letters for over 40 years. The town came together in secret, each person contributing something special: banners, cakes, handmade cards, and even a parade. Mr. Wilkins, who thought it was just another ordinary day, was completely shocked when he walked into the town square to find the entire community waiting for him, with cheers, confetti, and a brass band playing his favorite song. The audience beamed as they listened, the story evoking feelings of joy and community. There was something heartwarming about the idea of people coming together for the sole purpose of making someone else happy. Laughter rang out as the storyteller described Mr. Wilkins's stunned reaction, his wide eyes, and his hearty laugh when he finally realized what was happening. People in the audience nudged each other, exchanging smiles, reminded of the importance of small acts of kindness and the joy that comes from making others feel appreciated. As the final storyteller left the stage, the theater erupted into applause. The audience, having experienced a roller coaster of emotions, laughter, sadness, inspiration, reflection, and joy, stood in appreciation. The power of storytelling had been put on full display, showing how deeply words could resonate with the human heart. Outside, as the audience spilled onto the street, conversations buzzed with excitement. "That story about the dog! Oh, it got me," one person said, wiping their eyes. "Oliver's chicken chase! I haven't laughed that hard in ages," another replied, still chuckling. "I think I'm going to try learning the guitar again," a teenager muttered to his friend, inspired by Sam's perseverance. As the night sky blanketed the town, the stories from the theater continued to linger in the hearts and minds of the audience. They were reminded that stories are more than just words. They are the threads that connect people, the sparks that ignite emotions, and the windows into experiences both familiar and new. The theater, now quiet, held the echoes of the night's performances, a testament to the timeless magic of storytelling.